Okay, in this video I'll show you how you can overlay plot time distance data that you've gotten off of your watches. So the piece of software I'll use to do this is Microsoft Excel. If you use a different spreadsheet software, the process is somewhat similar. Um, let's go ahead and open up a set of data that I obtained from watches. Now I actually have two sheets here, so this would represent the data taken off of one watch on sheet 1, and then on sheet 2 I have the data taken off a second watch, and what our goal is to overlay plot the data. The first thing I notice is that the time is in kind of an awkward unit. Since the watch records time in terms of Greenwich Mean Time, it just tells us what the time is when the race was started and at Greenwich Mean Time. We'd actually like time to be 0 if we're reproducing the plot in the assignment. So I'm going to create a new time column. I'm going to let it be this column right here, and I'm going to let this cell be equal to the original time, Greenwich Mean Time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3 hours and 15 minutes from it, so effectively setting the clock at midnight. And to do that, there's a special function in Excel called time. So if I type in time parentheses and then the number of hours, minutes, and seconds that I want to subtract, so 3, 15, 0, then what results is, of course, a 0, 0 there, and I can copy this all down then fairly quickly. And I can see that at the beginning of the race, 0, 0, at the end of this particular data set, about 3 minutes and 12 seconds later. So I'll let that be my new time column. I'll let this be my new distance column. And that's just going to literally be equal to the old distance, so that I have time and distance. Oh, and look at it, it actually copied over at the same time format. So this will be so for whatever reason it decided the distance column should be in the time format. So what I'm going to do is click on that column, right click, and go to Format Cells. And under Format Cells, I want the number to just be a general number. Well, let's carry it out to, well, let's just let it be general and hit OK. OK, there it retrieved distance as just a general number rather than a time formatted number. So these would be the two cells that, of course, I'd want to plot if I was going to do a time distance graph. Let's go ahead and do the same operation for the second sheet. And I can do that pretty quickly by copying, the format of these two cells and pasting it right here. So this format says, I just basically am taking 3 hours and 15 minutes away from the start for watch 2. And you can see that watch 2 actually started about 2 seconds later than watch 1 because I'm registering a time of 2 seconds at the start. But it also has traveled a distance of 2 meters at the start, so it sounds like that's going to be all right. You might have some fuzziness there in terms of not exactly the same start time. A second or two shouldn't hurt. So I'll go ahead and copy those cells down, and of course that would be the set of data that I'd like to plot. And so I've got my two sets of data to plot, one on sheet 1, one on sheet 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together on sheet 3. So I'll just copy these cells. So those two columns, copy, go to sheet 3 and just paste. And I want to just paste the values. I think I can do that. Oh, look, it didn't do a nice job of formatting the time column, so I'll reformat the time column and we'll make this a time and hit an OK. Looks like, oh, it put it into that type of, I think what I want is I just want that one. There we go. So I formatted this time, and I think I'll format this column to be just a general number. Hit OK. Oh, it's interesting, it rounded it. I don't know why it's rounding it. For whatever reason, it's rounding it. Maybe that's a format. I'm going to auto-fit the column width. Oh, there we go. So once I get enough column width, it'll pull in all the decimal places that we saw before. So let's see, that was sheet 1 that I copied over. So now I'll copy over sheet 2. Probably going to have to do the same thing for this data. I'll copy it, and then into sheet 3, I will, in this location, paste it. So I want to paste the values again. I'm going to format time, so right click and format cells to be time, and I'm choosing, I guess it's the fourth option there. So roughly starting at the same time, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2 seconds. And then distance, I think all I did here was format, auto fit the column width. Okay. So now we've got two racers. If we want to think of it this way, we've got the yellow racer in these two columns, and let's call it the blue racer in these two columns. So we'd like to overlay sort of the yellow points and the blue points on a single graph at this point. So here's the way you can do that. If you highlight these two columns and you insert a scatter plot, I usually do the connected one. You can do smooth or unsmooth lines. These are straight lines, but I'm going to just do the straight ones. And right away you can see that it's doing something weird. You can see that it's plotting both the time and the distance, but not as a tuple. So it's literally saying, well, you gave me about 38 data points, and the time is being plotted here on the, so the data points number, comma, the time value. So this is obviously not correct. So what I usually do to rectify this is I just right click on the graph so the points highlight up. And what I want to do is reselect the data. So I'll go to select data. And in here what I want to do is just remove what's on the graph right now. So I can see right now the graph is really not showing anything because I've removed everything. And then let's just re-add it. So you can give the series a name if you want. I mean, you can call it runner 1. And then what you need to do is you need to pick the X values. And so X values, of course, are going to be time. So I'll pick all these time values as my X values. And then my Y values, what I want them to be equal to is distance. So I'll pick distance and pull those in. And there we go. Now we've got a better picture. Okay. And we've got one, oops, we've got kind of a picture at least of runner. What happened there? Something happened strange. I'm going to try it again. Insert, scatter. There it goes. You get to watch me do this again. So I've got the wrong look, so I'll remove both of these guys, and then what I want to do is I want to add runner 1 as the series name. I want the X values to be times. I want the Y values to be distances. And hit an OK. And hit an OK. Okay, sorry, I forgot to hit OK that last time. And now we get a sense of what runner 1 did. So that this one would be the yellow runner. I mean, maybe I should change the format the data series to be yellow. I guess we could do that. Line color, I don't know, solid line. We want this color to be, say, yellow. Hit OK. Oh, so we can kind of see that runner 1 is the yellow line. Okay, so what about runner 2? So to add another data, you can just hit select data again, and what you want to do is add more data in and do exactly the thing that you did the last time. So don't pay any attention to the graph right now, we'll fix it. But for series names, let's call it runner 2. For the x-axis, we want it to be time. And for the y-axis, we want it to be distance. And again, we'll just pull in the y values there and hit an OK and an OK. And now we get a better sense of how these two runners' time distance graphs were different. And we can see that I really don't like this yellow graph, so I'm going to reformat the data series and make the line color something a little bit easier to see. How about black? Okay, there we go. Now we can see it a little bit better. You can see for this particular race, they started at about the same time, but it looks like the black runner accelerated quicker in, say, the first 40 or so seconds, quite a bit of concavity upward, and then started to drift, in terms of it started concave down, decelerate. until I guess runner 2, which is sort of in the middle of the race, started to really pick it up. Quite a bit of a change, I guess, in slope right here, concave up. He's definitely accelerating, and at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we have a significant change of lead. Runner 2 passes runner 1, at which point runner 1 wakes up, tries to catch up to runner 2, picks up the pace quite a bit, concavity up, so acceleration in a positive sense, but doesn't quite catch runner 2 to win the race. So it looks like runner 2 ran a race where he was building and accelerating most of the time, whereas runner 1 accelerated, decelerated, accelerated, but wasn't able to win the race. So I hope that gives you a good sense of how you can overlay plot data in Excel. If you have questions, please come and see me, and good luck with your projects.